3 of them are rookies. At that point, like, what do you like? Are you still confident in your D group at that point? Obviously, they did a great job.
Yeah, we were confident in our D group and confident in the team, and you know, the reason why is a lot of times you can look at those situations and think you're kind of on a whim and a prayer, but you know, we really believe in having a foundation and an identity and have a style of play that you know you can plug and play, and we feel as though we have a deep group, and anyone that's in the lineup should be able to play, and that's why we spend so much time, you know, really early in the year of having a system and having an identity and reinforcing that throughout the year. So when you hit these little windstorms or you hit these things where there's injuries or call-ups, that you know you don't falter. You want to be able to have a belief system of how you're going to play and expect guys to play to their capacity, and that's what they were able to do on Sunday.
How much, you talk about a windstorm, how much of a gust is Seymour leaving with an injury today?
He should be good, actually. I think it's just a little minor thing on that, and it looked good after, just a little bit worse on the ice than it looked.
Is that, but when it first happens on the ice, are you thinking, I'm running out of defensemen here, you're going to have to dress Naz?
Yeah, well, we already talked to Naz about that getting in shape, so it should be. But I think, you know what, it's part of it. I think you never know what happens. I mean, I know there's guys up there in Pittsburgh now, and there's guys that could come back for them too. So, you know, I think a lot of times it looks like a dire situation, but a lot of times it does. There's not a lot of season-ending injuries in Pitt, so eventually there's going to be guys that are going to come back, and you know, so we'll take it step by step here. But I'm really encouraged that we have some guys in here now that we are able to work with, get them in some games, get them in some practices before you get into a situation in class where you may need them. So, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world either to be able to at least get that depth and work with that depth prior to getting into some must-win situations.
Just to sort of clarify, you probably start the playoffs in 10 days from now, roughly. You're pretty confident that you're going to have a different D group then than you do now?
Well, I wouldn't say confident.
Okay,
I would say that there's that chance.
Okay.
Exactly. I mean, you know, there's guys that we have here that are looking pretty good and are estimated to be in at some point either later this week or early next week. And then you always have the situation in Pittsburgh where I think there's 9 defensemen up there that are eligible to if you take Letang out. So they're not going to have 9 up there the whole time.
Sure.
Now, and why I say I'm not confident is those are all realistic scenarios, but then it also depends on injury, rehab, and how things go. But you know, it's not the D-core where it's at now isn't a set in stone situation.
Do you feel like you're going to get Federico in there?
There's a possibility.
Is he a guy you're talking about?
Yeah, he's a guy. I think Szymanski stepped in and played real well. And, he's a guy we had our eye on for a little bit. And I thought he played well the other night. And so I think we'll see. You know, depending on the guys we have coming back from injury, what their status is going to be for the weekend. But I think we'd like to at least try to. You know, it's not a situation where we're doing it to quote unquote rest people. Okay. It's going to be more that we want to make sure that we're shored up and the guys. If we have an opportunity to play a guy that we feel is ready and can help us, which we did with Szymanski, like we felt, regardless of whether we had 5D or not, he was playing Sunday, regardless of whether Dumoulin and Harrington got called up. We're going to find a way to get him in. So I think for us it's important to be able to have that depth, something that we've talked about at the end of every playoff series is having that, and if you have an opportunity to work with it, then I think it's a smart move to do it.
Yeah, a guy in that D group who, to me, has taken a step forward is D'Agostino. What have you seen out of him now that he's getting more ice time and more responsibility?
Well, he's able to make more plays under pressure. You know, when Nick came in, he was always a guy we knew he could move the puck and had pretty good hockey sense and understood how to play the game. But it came down to a confidence level with the puck under pressure, particularly in breakout situations. And I think the more ice time he's gotten and the more opportunity that he's earned, he's been able to do that better. And I think now you look at a guy that he's a real solid two-way defenseman. His defensive game is sound. He's got enough size, enough skill, enough skating to be a strong defender. But at the same time, you know, coming into his pro hockey career, he was a little bit of a puck-moving D, and you can see that now in his execution level is way better.